Well, the question that has been posed is, the whole question of, you know, people, the way they think, you know, do they value things? Do people get what they need, or do they get what they want? And I'm in a lot of different mastermind groups and coaching groups, and one of my favorites, of course, is Tony Robbins' group, and he says that everything we do is motivated on two things, which is pain or pleasure. He said we're either trying to avoid pain or we're trying to gain pleasure, and then he goes into the whole bit about drug addiction. Why are we the heaviest society, particularly the state of Mississippi is, I can't remember how much they weigh per person, but it's a lot. And he talks about, they're covering up a pain with a pleasure, which is food. And he talks about that whole thing. And the other thing is, yesterday we had one of the most brutal days on the stock market ever. And I have nothing to do with the stock market, never have. I used to, but I don't anymore. So it doesn't bother me, but I know a lot of you still play in the stock market. But the thing that was interesting is right after this story about the stock market, they said that even in the worst depression we have been in since the Great Depression, and many people think this is going to be worse, there were three things that had increased, hadn't slowed down whatsoever. And I'm like, okay, what are they? And they said, okay, number one, the sale of big screen TVs is off the charts. Like, Best Buy and all these, they cannot get them fast enough because, somebody, your neighbor gets a 55-inch, you want to have a 75-inch. So that is going out the roof. Number two is cigarettes. Even with all the commercials out there, sales of cigarettes are going crazy. And number three is booze. So even in a recession, people are finding money for big screen TVs, cigarettes, and booze. So getting back to dentistry, it's really the same thing. It's like, if people value something, they'll find a way to get it. The reason they are not buying your dentistry is because they don't see the need for it. It's not important to them. And one of the short stories I'll share with you, I had a young lady in that, I told her she needed 4 veneers. And, when I told her what my fee would be, she said there was no way. I mean, she actually started crying. And I said, we have care credit, we have this. And, I just wasn't connecting at all with her. And, the more we talked, and the secret to that is to listen. Doctor, shut up, listen. That's where you learn. And so she talked a little bit, and I said, so what I'm hearing is you're afraid you're going to run off your boyfriend because you have bad breath and your smile's not real attractive. And she goes, yeah. I said, okay. So we need to find a way to fix that. And she goes, yeah. And I said, okay. So how about if we do this? So our plan was basically we put her through hygiene, we put her on certain mouth rinse. We actually went with some temporary veneers, actually Luxitemps, which looked very, very good. And then, surprisingly, about 6 weeks later, she came back and she had the money. And we did the 4 veneers, and I'm just like blown away. And I never saw her again as a patient. I don't know what happened to her, but she found the money because she had a want, and I convinced her that she needed it. But what she really wanted, see, what we think they want is not what they want. I have a 90-year-old uncle who is absolutely amazing, and I thought what was going to turn his life around forever was new dentures. I thought, if I get Bob a set of new dentures, he will eat better, That wasn't it. He wanted to play better golf. So I make him, this beautiful set of dentures, and then I see him at Thanksgiving, and Bob, how your teeth done? They're sore down here. And then I found out from his wife, they're in the cup at night, and he's wearing these old dentures, and I just felt like crap, because see, I tried to judge what somebody else wanted, and he didn't. I mean, he wanted to eat better, but what he really wanted was to play golf better. So we ended up finding a way, not we, but my cousins found a way to make his golf game better. Well, now, surprisingly, I told him dentures are like a new pair of shoes. You know, you have to break them in. Well, now he's wearing his teeth, plus he's playing better golf, plus he's losing weight and on this exercise program, and now it's happening for him. But see, I didn't know what his values were. You know, I was looking at him through my dentist eyes, and I thought, well, teeth fix everything. Well, teeth don't fix everything. I mean, they help, but that's not, you know, the ultimate, you know, fix it for everything. So back to our original question of value versus need. I think that when we approach patients from a technical standpoint, which is what all dentists do, you know, we explain to them all the logical reasons why they need this. That doesn't work. It's emotional. And so what we have to do, our challenge is to know the person, find out what their emotional needs are, just like this lady, her emotional need was, didn't want to chase off his boyfriend. So once I discovered that, and I took a big chance, because, you know, when I said that, you know, she could have slapped me and walked out the room, but I sensed that was it. You know, because after doing this for a few years, you kind of figure these things out. So I think that's what it is. You know, selling is more listening than anything. And when you listen to people and you listen from the heart, like a lot of people taught me, then you find out what they really want. And then when you find a way for them to get what they really want, then good things happen for you and for the patient.